Check, check, mic check. I believe we're streaming now. Let's see. I don't know if there's any proof to my claims right now, but let's just roll with it. So, it's been a long time, but I'm starting to stream again, and I'm going to be getting back into it, getting back into the swing of things. Um, I've really just been on the side, just trying to get the equipment together, trying to go after different adventures. I did try my hand at video recording, so I'm still into that, but as of right now, that's on hold until I get a couple of other pieces of equipment so I can finish that adventure, which has been more of a misadventure, but that's another story for another time. But we're going to get into this. So, as you guys mainly know, I'm using Ableton. That's pretty much where my production is always going to lie. But I actually decided to go into an old project that I worked on maybe back in 2013, 2014. This was still the college days, but I actually recorded some of it in here, and I'm actually going to give you guys a preview of that real quick. Just let me move this tick marker over real quick. Okay, so as you can see on the stream, um, it's not lined up correctly yet. I'm assuming that by the time we're done warping this, it'll be right at the 5 rather than over the 5 because we want that a complete solid 4 bars. We don't want that right now. That's like 5.5, like almost 5.5. But let's play it real quick with the metronome and let's see if we can warp it correctly. So yeah, as you can tell, that is way off base. So let's play around with that a little bit. So that's perfect now. So now it's 5 bars. It's already in a loop up here. We're not really going to do too much to this other than probably going to throw some effects on it, make it sound cooler, maybe some reverb, maybe some beat stutters, maybe some gates, something. I don't know. But we'll see. For right now, we're actually going to put a drum rack in here. And I'm just going to put some drums on top of it. So probably something trap, more trap feeling. Let's see if we can find a good kick. Yeah, that one sounds good. I'll find a snare. Let's go with that second one. I like the first one, but we'll go with the second one. And then a hi-hat. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now I'm just gonna lay down something quick idea. We'll add some other elements to it. Like I said, we'll play around with some effects as well too. But for right now, I just want a baseline, like something, just a basic idea. So let's run with it. So quantize that and let's see how it sounds. Okay, that sounds really good. So now, I'm debating on the hi hat. Usually, I like to make like a little trap, like it's all over the place, kind of crazy type of feel. But I don't know. This one, maybe I might make it a little bit more basic, but let's play around with the ideas and let's see what we come up with. I kind of like the faster motion a little bit better, but I like the slower motion only because there's more variety in it. But I don't know. And then on top of that, my other option is just to leave it at a 16th and make every other one uh, lower velocity than the first one before it, just because it gives it that variation and that cool sound. Um, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that first. Let's see how it comes out. Let's see. I'm actually gonna do this one manually, so that involves me accenting every other one. See if that works. Nope, I did it wrong. Yep. So that's it right there. And we're gonna let's run with this. Okay, that sounds good. Now, let's see what I want to do. What do I want to do? Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's play around with the main sample. Let's see what we can get out of this. I got a couple of tools that I like. I've got three favorites right now. I've got halftime, pitch drop, and then beat repeat. And each of them I'll be able to tell you guys what they exactly do. Some of them you might actually be familiar with. Like for instance, halftime from Cable Guys. It's almost like Gross Beat from FL Studio. Basically, just you know the version that you can get if you don't actually have FL Studio. Um, Pitch drop. This took me a while to actually find, but I believe this is actually a Max for Live audio effect. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but unless you have Ableton Live Suite, that's the only time you're going to be able to actually use this plugin. very useful because of the fact that pitch drop is pretty much a tape stop. So for that pretty cool effect, I'll actually demonstrate it right now, just so you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, basically that tape stop effect. So that cool effect that people like to use sometimes on records. And then we've also got beat repeat, which is your stutter effect, plain and simple. This one comes with Ableton. I'm pretty sure it comes with standard, and I'm pretty sure it comes with Suite as well too. As far as intro, I don't think so. Like I said, don't quote me on it. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, with this guy, I like to turn it off. I like to automate this in because I usually put the repeat on. Because if you put the repeat on and keep it on, it's just gonna stutter the whole time. So, and you got to put the insert as well too. Gate 8/16, grid 1/16 right now. Maybe 1/8 might be better. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I think that's it for now. But yeah, usually I like to automate it into the track. So when I'm playing it, for example, I'll do something like this. And then halftime, I like to normally use that with my melodies just because sometimes it gives it that creepy, eerie vibe. Sometimes it's actually a really good way to establish like a dark bass line behind your melody, which I've started realizing as of recently, and I think it's a really cool effect. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, first I'm going to play halftime by itself. So it gives it a little bit more of a darker tone, but I can also get in here and I can move down this band right here. And if I move that, that's where you get that cool, like almost bassy type tone behind the main melody. So here's what I'm talking about. Sounds better with the half loop, but that's what I'm talking about as far as like the bass line from behind. Another cool way that I like to establish my bass lines, because a lot of people, they make these tracks and they don't have like a cool bass line behind it. And then some people don't really know music theory, or some people just don't want to experiment with it. They're not really that good at bass lines. I mean, my first way to combat that, I would say, is just experiment, play with it. Like, you never know, you can come up with some cool bass lines. But if you're not as courageous, um, halftime is a great way. Halftime, I could not. I'm really should have probably had a pricing list out with more information. I believe it's not that expensive. It can't be more than like 15 to 20 bucks, something like that. I just paid it out of pocket because I was just like, whatever. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. A lot of people like to try and torrent their stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to advise you to do that because that would be irresponsible of me. But like I say, it's only like 15, 20 bucks. Cable Guys, they're a really great company, and they've got a lot of other plugins. Another one, I'm trying to think of it. I used to actually have it on my computer, and then my hard drive crashed, so I haven't been able to download it back recently. But I think it was called, actually, Halftime. There's Halftime, and then there's another one it's basically Gross Beat, but it's just a halftime plugin. And I can't remember what, I mean, not the halftime plugin, but the Cable Guys plugin. But I can't remember what it's called though. But they've got like a volume envelope, and they've got like a timing one. They've got a what's the other one? They got a bunch of them. Honestly, I probably should have did my research before I started talking about it, but they've got a lot of great plugins. Um, Other than halftime, a really cool trick that I learned maybe a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, that I had no idea about, and a lot of people were calling me stupid because I didn't actually know about this. You can actually double up your melody, and you put an EQ on one of them, and the one that you want your bassy tones to come out for, you basically EQ it so that only the lows are coming in, but you take all the highs out. And that's a great way, like a perfect way to bring out that bass. Really good for samples, to be specific. Um, if you're sampling one of those soul tones and you really don't want to play a bass line, you don't play bass, or you don't want to interrupt the natural bass line of the sample, I would definitely recommend that, just because of the fact that it just brings out those rich, dark tones. It's the perfect way to do so. Um, that's stuff that I'll probably be talking about on later live streams and showing you examples of as well too. Um, so what else do I want to do with this? I'm gonna keep the halftime on, and I'm gonna keep that bass line. I just realized my meter is jumping crazy in the red. Um, had an Omnisphere tone in here. I'm gonna see what I can do with this. I don't know if that's the right key. I'm just playing around right now, but let's see. More out there, like more complex tones. But since I'm trying to experiment a little bit more with using effects in order to make something simple into something complex, I'm actually going to just take those four notes and record them in real quick. And I think I'm only going to need 4 bars for this. Actually, I might only need 2, but let's see. Okay, so that's it for the, I guess it's almost like an Asian type melody. Well, melody. Actually, technically speaking, what I learned in school was most of the scales that we attribute to like Asian type scales are actually, in fact, Russian, which is actually interesting if you think about it. A lot of music, they, and this is where stereotypes and stuff come into play because you see a lot of Asian flicks and you'll see maybe the person will play the melody and it's like the dun 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 dun. That's actually not an Asian scale. That's actually a Russian scale, which is something I learned in college. It's pretty interesting facts right there. But yeah, just side notes, facts to know. Um, so I've got that going. Now I'm gonna put an effect on it. And this is where automation comes into play because automation makes things really interesting. Um, I'm actually gonna put a pitch drop on here and see what I can do with that. I know I'm using the same three effects. I'm just trying to keep it simple right now. In the future, I will definitely experiment with a lot more effects. But I'm definitely going to use beat repeat as well too. I'll put the repeat, insert, 816. Let's see how it sounds for right now. Obviously, it's not going to sound like anything because it's repeating the blankness. So, that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm actually going to have to play around with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to turn it on until... I'm going to turn it on right here and then turn it back off right there. Now I'm going to turn it on back there. Actually, no. That's not what I wanted to do. Actually, you know what? It sounds interesting in my head, so I'm going to try that. No, no. Wait a minute. I do want it on here. So I'm going to turn that one back off. Turn this one on. Turn off. And this is our trial run, so we'll play and we'll change it around. But for right now, I'm gonna keep it like this for right now. And obviously, we're not gonna keep it like that because that's boring. So let's see. And then we're going to play with the actual grid. So right now it's been on a 16th for the whole time. So let's play this back. Right around here, we're going to actually increase the speed. Let's see how that sounds. A little bit faster. Let's see how that sounds. So basically this 1/8 just rendered it useless because it doesn't even register it. So let's try a 30-second. Okay, that's cool for that. Now I'm going to play around with this pitch drop. First I need to make sure that I've got the right speed on it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So now I'm just going to see where I want to activate it. You know where it is, right? Yes. Okay. So that was too soon. We're going to drop it right there. I'm liking it already. I mean, still kind of basic for my taste, but I mean, this is just like, you know, a live stream to get back into things, just to kind of show off like some of the things that I've learned. I've learned a little bit, and you know, I've been watching tutorials, but really the only way that you're really going to learn is if you actually get out there and do it. So I've been trying to apply the stuff that I've learned over the past couple of months, and I've just been trying to put it into my production to become a better producer. So a lot of music I'm working on as well too. A lot of stuff people haven't heard yet. But yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it. I'm just taking it day by day. Trying to think what else I want to do. I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything that I really want to do with this beside, like, anything complicated. Maybe put, no, I don't want to. I'm thinking about the 808, but I'm just like, I kind of like it without the 808 though. Maybe I'll just conclude it right here. Like I said, this is just like a little test, a little thing to get back into the water and try and, you know, get back into the swing of things. This is actually the first live stream that I've done in, it's probably been at least 5-6 months or something like that. So it's been a while, but more to come on the way. There will definitely be video as well too. I actually, stepping out, forgot to bring my live webcam with me, so I just didn't even feel like dealing with my own webcam. More stuff on the way, more sample based, more original pieces, even tweaking old songs that I've made, like for instance, this beat right here, which is a beat that I actually did back in 2013. But, there's going to be a lot more coming on the way. Uh, More stuff involving the city of Buffalo as far as um, concerts, as far as collaborations with other artists, as far as working with some of the videographers that I know. Shouts out to Omri Monroe. I actually just saw one of his things recently on Instagram that he posted up, and he's working with a lot of the talent from Buffalo. He's also working on a documentary, which sounds interesting. It's actually the relationship between law enforcement and the regular citizens of Buffalo, which was actually pretty interesting. He actually wanted me to um, be featured on it to give my opinion based from someone who's a citizen but grew up in a family full of police officers. So, a different perspective. Usually, you've got black and white. You've got maybe you're either on the side of the blue line, or maybe you're on the side of just people's rights, and bringing making sure that cops are held accountable for their actions. Usually, there's not really a in between. So, yeah, that should be interesting. When I get more information on that, I will definitely let you guys know. But as for right now, I'm gonna sign out and have a great day.